Hello my darlings and welcome. Today I'm going to create some Lammas incense. You can make this recipe to celebrate Lughnasadh or the first harvest, or make it for use anytime you want to add a floral boost to your day or add the spirit of summer to your space. Let's do some magical crafting. This recipe represents my very first attempt at making incense. I used some research and some intuition to put together a blend that I hope represents the late summer season and the first harvest. I have another video of me creating a Book of Shadows page for this recipe. I'll link to it below, and if you'd like to download a PDF of that grimoire page, please visit Magical Crafting on Patreon at the link below the video. I've purchased loose incense blends in the past, so I have some idea about the consistency that I prefer. So I decided to use crushed dragon's blood resin and a tiny bit of honey as a binder for my herbs, flowers, and essential oils. I like the incense to clump together just a little bit so that it doesn't fall off of the charcoal tab when I spoon it on. However, if you prefer a loose herbal mixture, you can simply blend the dried herbs alone. After crushing the dragon's blood resin, I added marigold or calendula flower petals. This flower is also called the bride of the sun or the summer's bride. Representing the sun, this herb can be used in sacred baths, incense, and rituals. This flower opens each day and closes as the sun sets. The best time to harvest them is midday, when the sun is at its highest. The next ingredient I'm adding is sunflower petals. In many folkloric traditions, sunflowers are seen as symbols of good luck, and of course, they're associated with the sun and summertime. First, I'm adding some petals that I purchased online. The second set of petals I'm adding are from a bouquet of sunflowers that were given to me by my sister when I was very ill last summer. I dried the flowers and saved the petals, and now I'm adding a bit of the love and care that these flowers represent into my incense. I'm setting this mixture aside to begin again in my mortar with more ingredients. My recipe also includes rose petals, rose hips, or rose buds. Rose is best known as a flower of love, but it also promotes the joy of giving and gratitude. Perfect for the harvest season. Once again, I'm using rosebuds I purchased, but I also recommend using rose petals from dried bouquets if you have them. It adds a little bit of extra love and giving energy to your magic to use specially gifted flowers. And of course, I had to add my favorite herb, rosemary. It's been used for cleansing and purifying incense since ancient times. This rosemary came from my garden, and so I'm stripping the leaves off of the stems. Rosemary is most well known as a protection herb and used for purification, but it's also both masculine and ruled by the sun, so rosemary is the perfect herb for inclusion in sun magic. Then I decided to add a few more rosebuds to the mixture as well. You may have noticed from this video and others, I don't give the exact ratios or amounts of ingredients used in any of my recipes. I use my intuition and add ingredients by the way they make me feel in the moment. Again, I set this mixture aside to begin again in my mortar with more ingredients. The next ingredient is oak leaf, moss, or bark. The oak is a powerful symbol of summer, longevity, growth, and good fortune. All cultures have revered the oak for its quality of strength and wisdom. The oak tree has many magical properties, including fertility, balance, protection, and strength. I added a little bit more dragon's blood resin into the mortar as well. The next ingredient is sandalwood. It has a long history of use in the spiritual practices of both the East and the West. Sandalwood is said to help make wishes come true. When burned, sandalwood can have a calming or sedative effect, and so it aids in meditation. In ritual formulas, it's used for purification, consecration, relaxation, and peace. I originally purchased sandalwood in stick form. I burn it for smoke cleansing and for cleansing and purifying my magical tools, jars, and sacred spaces. I decided to carve some chips off of one of these sticks using a craft knife. Like frankincense and myrrh, the chips must be burned over charcoal to fully release their aroma. Again, I set this mixture aside in a little dish. 3 little dishes of ground up herbs, flowers, wood, and resin. I'm transferring the contents of all 3 to a ceramic or porcelain dish before adding the essential oils and the honey. This is to ensure that the oils and resin will not seep into the unfinished wood of the little bowls, staining them or permanently adding scents to them. I urge you to be cautious with essential oils. Some of them can strip finishes and paint off of furniture, and some are strong enough to affect plastic. Always keep them in glass or ceramic containers. I added patchouli essential oil because it's one of my favorite scents. Some people dislike the earthy smell patchouli gives off, but I love it. Patchouli is most often associated with drawing money and prosperity, and it's also used to draw love and passion with its crisp, musky smell. I also add rose oil for a pop of floral scent to evoke the sweet smell of roses on a summer breeze. The final ingredient is honey. I use honey in many of my magical workings. I love its sweet scent and it embodies summertime. I only used a small amount, perhaps a half a teaspoon, to moisten the dry ingredients and activate the resin as a binder. Because of its sugar content, honey is a way to sweeten all of your spells, and it can do the same for your incense blends. It's antimicrobial, so it's a good way to add a bit of moisture as a binder that will never form mold. As you stir and mix the incense blend completely, this is the time to add your intent or your energy if you'd like to use the incense for a special magical rite or working. You may wish to speak or pray over the mixture, or whatever your tradition calls for. Once it's thoroughly mixed, it's time to transfer your incense to a clean bottle. Again, I recommend glass, metal, or ceramic if you've used essential oils in your blend. I love the way this incense looks. The yellow and rose colors evoke a sense of summer, with hints of green rosemary peeking through. But the real test is, how does it smell when it's burned? I used 1/4 of a charcoal tab because I didn't want to commit to the 2 hours it takes to burn an entire tab. I lit the charcoal in a candle flame using fireproof tongs, and once it was going, I placed it into my cast iron cauldron. I was pleasantly surprised that my first try making incense smelled really good when I tried burning it. It gave off a musky and floral scent with woody notes. I would call it a success. I hope this video has given you some ideas on how to create your own incense and inspired you to try combining your favorite herbs and flowers of the season. And I hope you have a blessed Lammas.